a collapse of epic and monumental proportions. But I'm going to say something, viewers at home, that might make your head explode. I apologize. Turn your volumes up for it. I can't even say it.
Spit it out.
Oh, man, go ahead and say it. What is it?
Get it off your chest.
I feel better after this loss than I do any one of Deion Sanders' wins.
Here it is. Doing that now.
Here it is.
When Deion Sanders beat Colorado State, I didn't feel great about it. When he won week 1 against North Dakota State, I didn't feel great about it. When you beat UCF, I did feel pretty good about that, but I wasn't sure how good UCF is. What I know about Kansas State, a team I have watched, studied, and played against over the last 20 years, they are consistently good, consistently well coached, consistently physical. They do not beat themselves. They play a very consistent brand of football. And Deion, you were up by 4 points with 3 minutes left. If you don't play press man with 3 minutes left, you likely win that game. I actually, in watching this Colorado game, learned more about Colorado in that loss than I did any of their wins. Travis Hunter, out.
Yeah.
Shiloh Sanders, basically out because he played like he was, played atrocious. Jimmy Horn Jr., hurt. And y'all still were up by 4 with 3 minutes left. When I'm watching that Colorado loss, I actually felt encouraged because I actually said, wait a second, Colorado good.
Yes.
Kansas State, many are suggesting, is a favorite to win the Big 12 along with BYU and Iowa State. So Colorado, if you can take them down to the wire without your best player, Travis Hunter, without Horn Jr., with Shiloh coming off of an injury that kept him sidelined for the last 3 weeks, in my mind, you can beat everybody in the Big 12. You have to go do it. I know, Shady, it sounds crazy. I actually feel better after that loss.
I don't. I really don't. First of all, we talking about primetime Deion Sanders. Right?
Yeah.
You think he's cool with the little moral victories and all that? Deion Sanders? Primetime?
Right.
I'm disappointed. First of all, it was a great game. And I want to let the viewers know how good Kansas State really are. First of all, they beat Arizona by 24 points, and they beat Oklahoma State by 22 points. So they're really, really good. If you watch that game, I watched Colorado battle the whole game, right? Good and bad, bad and good. They get to a point where they lose 3 of their star wide receivers, right? It's hard to win like that. Oh, cool. Okay, but you some way find a way to get the lead late in the game. Fourth quarter, let me take you back. Fourth quarter, I think you're up 4, right?
28-24.
And then it's 2 minutes, maybe like 40 minutes, something like that, 2 and change. You playing bump and run, press coverage, man with no help.
Yeah.
What we doing?
Why?
Make this team, first of all, Kansas State, they ran the ball the whole game, right? Ran the ball the whole game, cool. Make the quarterback beat you. Make these guys go the whole way up the field and score a touchdown. They didn't do that. One shot, he beat him, man, press coverage, then they scored and the game's over. When you have a really, really good team on the ropes like that, you got to finish it off. Right now, they should have won that game. They should have won that game. And then another thing is, you playing defense late in the game like you have your best cornerback, your best player in the game. He's not. Travis Hunter got hurt with the shoulder, so he was out on offense and defense. Why are you playing press coverage on these dudes? Why? I don't know. I'm just upset because I really had Colorado win this game, and I think if they didn't win this game, everybody in the world would be talking about how good of a job that Deion did coaching his team.
That's true.
We can't be talking about moral victories because it's going to open up a whole.
We never can do that. We never doing that.
This show. So I'm gonna give you a pass for that one.
I'm gonna get back to it. Go ahead, Chase.
I'm gonna give you a pass on it. But like it wasn't a bad loss. Like K-State, like you were saying, they're a good team. They're 21 in the country. The biggest takeaway from that game, though, was Shedeur Sanders. He played outstanding, probably his best game. Go back and actually watch it. His best game as a college athlete because he was out without like 3 of their top receivers. He was 34 of 40. I mean, super accurate. That's like 80% or something like that. Almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception. And honestly, should have got that PI call at the end of the game to get him in field goal range to hopefully like win the game. So, I mean, technically, they're probably out of the college football playoff.
Of course.
Technically, they're probably out of the Big 12 contention for the Big 12 championship. But I think there's some pros from it. And I think that college scouts, come February, March, April, May, they're going to be watching this K-State game for Shedeur Sanders and saying, man, this guy can
James, let me talk to you.
throw it.
Let me talk to you. I'm going to talk to everybody, but I'm really going to talk to you.
We're calling him out for moral victory.
Now, think about it. When I'm watching Colorado, they weren't going to the playoffs this year. No, we knew that.
If they won this game, they could have, though.
But they weren't, Chase. They weren't. You knew it, and I knew it. They weren't. When I'm watching Colorado, I didn't anticipate that they would win the Big 12 this year. I would hope, but BYU exists. Iowa State I didn't think they'd do that. So I'm watching the game, Shade, and I'm like, okay, show me you're a good team. I'm still not yet convinced y'all are a good team. They beat UCF, we said maybe. When I'm looking at it now, James, and I'm looking at it now, Shade, I'm like, wait a second. This loss wasn't bad at all. I feel better about this loss than beating Baylor by 7. Baylor beat Tarleton State and like Air Force. They got 2 wins. I feel the last time we saw Colorado lose, they got smoked by Nebraska and a freshman quarterback, 28-10. Smoked. So in this loss where they got all their players hurt, like Shady talked about, and you still almost won, James, that's why I'm like, yo, I feel good about this team. I feel good.
And I'm with you. I hate moral victories because I take myself back in the locker room as well, too. We going out there on this football field, and we understand what this media up here talking about, but we know the type of football team we are. We should have won that game. But as for us sitting up here, I always look back to last year. Like you say, you don't forget how bad them quarterbacks was. Now they playing well. I remember who they were. Just remember who Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffs were last year. Any good team they played last year, bop, 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 bop. They had Chuck Taylor's on at halftime playing the Colorado Buffs. For real, though. Any solid team they played, they beat up on really average teams, and the solid teams they played, the Washington State, they had Chucks on at halftime, beat downs. So I'm like, you're going to play a ranked team, right? Not a lot of people are choosing you to win this game. I took that as a moral victory, like we should have won this game. We did not win this game, but you should be really, really confident, and you should see the direction that Prime and the Colorado Buffs are going. I think they are a really good football team, especially coming off that loss against Kansas State. I loved what I seen.
They are a really good team, right? Yeah. And like you gave that game away. Like as much as we saying that Kansas State's a really good team, because they are a good team. They're really, really good. But you gave that up.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, 21-7. Remember, K-State was winning. They had to come back without Trav. They had to come back without Horn.
I get that. I get that. So they get a nice pick, right? Pick changed the game for them late in the game, right? I forget it was safe or something like that. And then they score. My thing is, there's certain games, right, where you should win a game and you lose. And there's games that you should lose this game. I don't know how you win this game. And I think when you watch that game against Kansas State, they probably should have won that game, Nacho. Everything, they couldn't stop the run all day, right? And then we're going to talk about how Shiloh had a bad game. Now, I watched Shiloh, right? And there's nobody that competes harder on that team, and he's a physical athlete. He's rusty.
Very much so.
Right? If you know the game, he was rusty, so I don't count that for a bad game. But anyway, what I'm saying is they went the whole game battling, right? They couldn't stop the run. And they finally start stopping the run. Okay, cool. Then we get the lead. We got this game. The worst part about Kansas State is they don't throw the ball well. You see the quarterback throwing the ball? Come on. So now you get them where you want them at. But they got to go, 80-something yards and score a touchdown. That's where we want them. All our best players are hurt. Let's stop the bleeding. All we got to do is stop them from scoring. Up 4 with 2 minutes left. And we playing press man coverage when our best cornerback is not even on the field.
Make it make sense.
Why are we doing that?
I feel you. Make
it make sense.
So as much as we want to say, they are a good team because they play well, no. They should have won that game. And if they'd have won that game, man, I'd have been up on this desk hollering.
Even to be in the game, though.
They would have been in the game.
They'd have been ranked. Yes, they would have.
Speaking of teams being ranked, I saw Pittsburgh is like they 18.
No, they're 20.
They're 20.
We're 19.
Missouri 19.
I know,
Texas is 1.
Hey, are you?
Where's San Jose State?
5-1.
We 4-2 right now. We took a tough loss this week. We took a tough loss.
Wait, because I know y'all not. Are you undefeated?
We are.
We are too.
Y'all are something else.
We don't lose though. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how that feels.
Both y'all lose this week.
Well, we got Georgia, so that could happen.
Man.
Speaking of a team that must win, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets had as much turmoil and chaos as any team last week. They fired their head coach. But tonight, with the whole world watching, the Jets take on the Bills. How much pressure is on Aaron Rodgers? The most important topic you will hear in sports television today is a topic we're discussing after the break. I mean, I didn't think they'd do that. So I'm watching the game, Shade, and I'm like, okay, show me you're a good team. I'm still not yet convinced y'all are a good team. They beat UCF, we said maybe. When I'm looking at it now, James, and I'm looking at it now, Shade, I'm like, wait a second. This loss wasn't bad at all. I feel better about this loss than beating Baylor by 7. Baylor beat Tarleton State and like Air Force. They got 2 wins. I feel the last time we saw Colorado lose, they got smoked by Nebraska and a freshman quarterback, 28-10. Smoked. So in this loss where they got all their players hurt, like Shady talked about, and you still almost won, James, that's why I'm like, yo, I feel good about this team. I feel good.
And I'm with you. I hate moral victories because I take myself back in the locker room as well, too. We going out there on this football field, and we understand what this media up here talking about, but we know the type of football team we are. We should have won that game. But as for us sitting up here, I always look back to last year. Like you say, you don't forget.